I walked into Bhool Chuk Maaf with minimal expectation, partly because the concept felt like it could be Baar Baar Dekho 2.0, a film whose idea I actually liked, and partly because Rajkumar Rao was in it. And well, if anyone can deliver something meaningful in the jungle of template films, one of them is him. Fortunately, the film turned out to be a one-time watcher, which is fine nowadays. Before we get into the plot, let's quickly talk drama. The film went through its own controversy hours before release. Maddox Films opted for a direct Amazon Prime release, skipping theatres because of the India-Pak war, which led to PVR Inox suing them for 60 crore for breach of contract. But hey, free publicity. The hype only helped the film. The film is set in Banaras. I know, what a delight that is. The cinematography lovingly captures the warmth, nostalgia, and chaotic calm of a small town. If you have grown up in one and now live in a metro, this film will make you crave that slow, simpler life. Sometimes the town itself becomes a character in the story, and I absolutely love that. Directed by Karan Sharma, known for directing season 1 of Maharani under the Maddox film banner, Bhool Chuk Maaf centers around Titli Mishra and Ranjan Tiwari, played by Vamika Gabi and Rajkumar Rao respectively, two lovers who are eager to marry. But there's a catch. Titli's father insists Ranjan must get a government job within 2 months. Desperate, Ranjan cuts a shady deal with a man named Bhagwan, played delightfully by veteran Sanjay, and voila, gets the job. But right after the Haldi ceremony, he wakes up to find he's living the same day of 29th again and is stuck in the time loop. Hence, the concept of time loops comes into the play. What follows is a mix of love, redemption, social commentary, and yes, deja vu. What works? The relationship between Titli and Ranjan is a mirror to many small town couples, awkwardly romantic, overly expressive, and slightly, or more than slightly delusional. The Babu Shona antics are appropriate, even though it sounds like cringe for many of us, but it isn't cringe in the world of small town delusional couples. The public display of affection is there because, let's just face it, small town romance doesn't do subtle. Performances. Seema Pahwa, Raghuveer Yadav and Sanjay Mishra are all solid in familiar roles. Nothing out of the box, but they deliver what's expected, like dependable local food. You have had it before, but it still satisfies. Vamika did better than her contemporaries. She effectively captured the essence of a small town girl, embodying that spirited, slightly over the top, nibba nibbi energy. She did understand the assignment. While the role itself wasn't particularly remarkable or even layered, she was okay. And honestly, that's commendable in an era where many actors struggle to even speak Hindi properly, let alone convincingly portray a small town persona. Something that shouldn't be praiseworthy in Hindi cinema, but sadly it is. It makes me wonder, will critics finally acknowledge how refreshing Anushka Sharma was in similar roles across her filmography, or it will take more time, I don't know. As for Rajkumar Rao, he's authentic to his portrayal, as always, no shortcomings. But, the typecasting is starting to show. His performances often feel repetitive, not because of a lack of talent, but because he's boxed into similar small town roles. The dialogue delivery, the body language, it all feels familiar now. I know how he's going to act, but it's hard to blame him entirely. Whenever he's ventured into more unconventional or nuanced roles like in Shahid, Newton or Shrikant, the reception hasn't matched the effort as we fail as an audience to appreciate and acknowledge it. Meanwhile, something like Stree 2 takes into massive box office numbers. So naturally, an actor in his position gravitates towards roles that keep him in public eye. In a way, it reflects our own shortcomings as an audience, rewarding formula over boldness. What didn't work? Music. I am begging Bollywood. Please give us original good music again. The songs here are so forgettable that I can't even name one. The item number with Dhanashri Verma, completely unnecessary. Wedding banger, missing. And in a film centered around marriage, come on. This was a missed DJ set opportunity, especially now that the wedding season is around the corner. Please, please, please just stop remaking old songs. It's painful to see the bangers of our time being reused like this. It kills creativity and disrespects their legacy. The time loop concept. You give me a time loop premise, I expect a creative comedy of errors, chaos, and maybe some what if scenarios. But here, the loop is used only to drive home a moral message, ending in a predictable emotional shift. There could have been multiple scenarios, different reactions to the same situation, more madness, something unique. But it became a one track ride with one social message at the end. Felt like watching something which stopped halfway and turned into moral science class with people's heart changing in just a minute to end the film on a positive note. While a few punches did make the audience chuckle, overall, the humor didn't live up to its potential. A film like this should have had us laughing every few minutes, but the writing didn't do the justice. In the end, I'm left with a lot of I wish moments, unfortunately. However, despite its flaws, Bhool Chuk Maaf has its heart in the right place. It may be imperfect, but it's undeniably sincere. If you manage your expectations, it's worth one-time watch. I would say people should watch it at least once. It's kind of light, no-brainer, fun, perfect for a laid-back evening type of film. With its release on Amazon Prime around the corner, it's likely that many will skip the theatrical experience. But if you skip the cinema, at least catch it on OTT. It's worth a shot. Thank you for watching.